It's like Kenny talks to me like he doesn't know what that's like.
Mm.
Look at him. Like, and then you see Crash. Like, really? Like, he's like, oh yeah, AJ's way better. Come on, man. Let's call a spade here.
Okay, let's do.
Yeah. Awkward.
Listen. AJ Allmendinger joining us here in the Freak Nation, Lucas Oil Studios. And AJ, I caught up with you just before you were qualifying, and again, calm, cool, collected. This is, of course, for the Phoenix races. You're running for the championship Saturday night, and I took it as though you were. And then we came to the conclusion that you've been playing with house money all year. But at the same time, when you're contending for a championship, I don't care if it's house money, your money, the boss's money. You lose that championship. Did it sting as much as it would have if you knew you had the best car out on the track?
No, I mean, obviously still disappointed. We'd like to have at least fought for it, but that was one of those things that going into that race, we knew that Phoenix wasn't our best racetrack. And in the spring, I wasn't, really quick there. And as a whole, College racing has never been overly fast there. But yeah, of course, you'd still like to go out there and fight for it and contend. But we knew we had an uphill climb. We worked hard to prepare for it, and we tried to focus on the areas we lacked in. But, over the last couple of months, even throughout the playoff run, if you take out the roll, we've kind of been a 4th to 7th place team. And we know there's a lot of areas in the offseason here that we got to work on. So, at the end of the day, sure, it was sad that we never gave ourselves a great shot at it. But, with this format, it's one of those things that, as we saw with Daniel Hemrick last night, did a fantastic job. Looking forward to having him as my teammate next year. But, it comes down to on that any given Friday, Saturday, Sunday on championship weekend, comes down to 4 drivers in that series. And whoever nails it that day, they're probably the champions. And it doesn't take away anything that has happened this year. So I think that's kind of the way we all looked at it. And sure, we wanted to finish it off the right way, but it didn't happen. And I still wouldn't change anything about the year the way it's played out.
Was there a time in the race at Phoenix Raceway Saturday night that you said to yourself, I ain't got it? Or are you that kind of guy that says, we still got it as long as that car's on the track and I'm on the lead lap?
Well, I mean, as the runs would go on, we could see. I mean, the 22 was crazy fast. The 18 had a lot of speed in them too. But you don't want to give up, So mentally, I knew, okay, we just tried to make the car as best as we could. And I thought we started the race. Qualifying wasn't great. We started at 12th. The first stage, we kind of got to 7th or 8th, and I thought by the end we had made it at best a 4th, 5th place car, but we were going to run anywhere from 4th to 6th. And then if a late race restart happened, it was game on. We've won a few races this year on late race restart, so I just wanted to stay in it. Unfortunately, the really last long run, we didn't really tighten the right rear tire, so that was falling off, and never gave ourselves a shot at it from there.
Ugh. AJ, you referenced earlier with this format. Do you think it is a fair format to have a race at Phoenix Raceway? It's a different track than anything else on the schedule. Do you think it's fair to end the season with 4 drivers vying for a championship on a strange track, a not real familiar track? There's really no wrong answer to this because I think there's great arguments on all ends here.
I agree. I mean, it's you're going to have the certain group that says it shouldn't be based on that. It should be based on a full season of the body of work and how the points play out. You can even have the group that wants to go back to the old at least 10 races amongst 12 or 16 drivers, and they fight it out for the championship. And then you got to you're going to have the people that love this because it's down to 4 drivers, and whoever finishes the best there is the champion. And it always keeps that excitement level and that edge of the seat because you don't know who the champion is until the checker flag falls, especially in a Cup season or an Xfinity season with 33 to 36 races, the points get spread out. So you could see many a times if you just let it play out that the championship would be clinched before the last race of the season. And that's not great for the excitement level when it comes to the last race of the season. So it's all fair for all of us. We all have the same chance to get to the Final Four. And of course, certain racetracks suit certain drivers. But at the end of the day, the four of us that are there, we have an equal chance to go win it. So
That's true.
I don't really put a lot of thought into, gosh, I wish it was this way or that way, because it's not. And it's not my call. This is you play by the rules that you go out there and it's set for you.
Well, you also referenced how great this season has been. Your most memorable moment, I think I might know it, but I want to hear it from your end.
Well, I mean, it's for sure the win at Indy.
Yes.
Because it was so unexpected. And Indianapolis is a place I've always, dreamed about, like at times thought it would never even come close to happening. And it was funny the way that weekend played out, because I really thought we were going to kiss the bricks on Saturday because we had a fast race car. We were qualified pole by I think 3 or 4 tenths. We were had a horrible first stage and got back to the lead, and I thought, okay, we're pretty good here. But with the stage racing, especially in the Xfinity races, because the stages are short, it puts you kind of in a bind, and you have to make a decision as a team. Do you pit at the end of that before that second stage ends and give up the points and go for the race win, or do you go for the points? And we went for the going for the points in the stage win, and it played out to where we never really got a shot to win the race because the caution never came back out, and Austin won the race, and I was really disappointed. So to go to the Cup race and the way that played out, and we just spent all night kissing the bricks, drinking, having a great time. I mean, hell, you heard me talking after that. So that was a great memory, but the way we won Bristol and to win the regular season championship was a close second.
Decisions like that, AJ, how many people are in on those decisions? Is it just you, just the crew chief? Is it a democratic process? How many people are in on that?
I mean, it's kind of based on myself and Chris Rice at College Racing leading the team, and then my crew chief, Jason. It was a kind of a decision that, it's really up to them too. I'm out there just trying to go as fast as possible in whatever scenario that they want me to. But yeah, we played it out that tires were, so the way that played out as well, it worked out perfect for the guys that pitted, because tires were actually a pretty big deal at Indy. So even a couple of laps on those tires, you lost a little bit of speed. Well, they pitted and the caution came right out. So they didn't even have to run the extra 2 or 3 laps on the tires. So it was just a perfect storm of that scenario, the way it played out. And, we still had an outside shot, and hell, the way it worked out, it's part of the reason why we won the regular season championship, because if we pit there, we don't get the 10 extra points for winning that stage. So we still thought we had an outside shot to win the regular season. So we tried to take the points there and hope it worked out for us.
And all that decision making happens in 3 seconds, 10 seconds, a minute. How much time is involved in everybody screaming at each other over the radio?
Yeah, I mean, it's really probably at that point a 2-lap process where you're just trying to, in those stages, try to figure out, okay, should we do this, or who's gonna. Part of it also is, okay, who's gonna pit? Do we think enough guys are gonna pit that it doesn't put us that far back in the field? And as I said, it wouldn't have been quite as bad. I still don't think, and you also expect in the final stage you're gonna get a few yellows. Well, we got no yellows in that final stage. So it just got spread out. But yeah, I mean, it's usually a lap or 2 process. You
what
talk about
happens to
scenarios
guessing?
Yeah, I mean, you talk about scenarios before the race, but you also got to see the way the race is playing out.
Mm-hmm. Well, the way you have played out for this weekend, you're clearly in your easy chair, you're on your couch, you're at home, you're back at Charlotte. And I like this situation that you guys have with this post-race plane. You guys have a couple teams sharing a plane after every single race.
Yeah, it's actually a great the way it's set up. It's Victory Air, and it's multiple planes. So you got multiple teams that are flying with each other. You kind of get set on a plane that in the beginning of the year, these are the people you're flying with. So it's great because you get done and you get to the plane, and more often than not, you get home fairly quick. Phoenix was the time that our race ended, and then the plane that we're on, we had to all go through post race tech for the championship car. So yeah, we got home at 6 a.m, and that was a long one for sure.
And then what was the story you were telling us earlier about how Austin Cindric wins a race and somebody asked you if you were mad at him for winning because, of course, the championship, and your answer?
Yeah, no, so we fly with Team Penske in RCR most of the time. So people would be like, "Oh, you upset that Austin won today?" I'm like, "Yeah, because now we have to wait for their ass on the plane." So that's really the only anger that I had when he would win. I'm like, all of us would be like, but they were the same way when we won. So it was like, that was a problem. It was like, a couple of the racetracks, like we drove, like the Roval, you drive home. You're like, damn it, you don't even get to make them wait. Like everybody's driving home. Bristol's the same way. So out of my 5 wins, we got shortcutted and railroaded on 2 of them. They got to fly home or drive home on time.
You can make it up to them next year, you and Hemrick.
Yeah, we'll try to, but it's a great way to fly home because it's everybody gets there quick and you fly home, and that's when you're racing 36 times a year. That extra, even those extra few hours getting home makes a difference, especially to the crew people, because they're the ones that wake up Monday morning or going right back to the shop getting the next week card ready, and they don't get to bring a lot of family members, so it makes a big deal for them.
AJ Allmendinger joining us here in the Freak Nation Lucas Oil Studios. Is there a time when a driver or a crew member gets on that damn plane and they freaking reek because they didn't shower? Or do you shower before you get on that snappy plane?
More often than not, no, because I don't have a bus at the racetrack. Matt Collig and Chris Rice, they have buses, so they're nice enough that they allow us to shower if need be. But yeah, that plane's a little more funky flying home than it is on the way out there, so everybody and it's not a big plane, so you're crammed in there pretty good. So yeah, it's a little stinky. Especially that Phoenix flight home. That was stinky.
Oh, you mix in some sweat and dirt and champagne, that thing really can get funky a bit.
Oh yeah, and then people, you get some crew people, they'll grab some Taco Bell or something on the way to the airport, and it funkifies that plane. Woo.
But funkifies.
The best part is you smell something and you start looking around, and everybody else is like looking around like, it wasn't me. That wasn't me. I didn't do that. So,
you can't even open a window, can you?
No, you just crunched in there, and people are pointing at other people like, oh, that smells from that person over there. I'm always like, God bless it, Tara. Really? Another one? I don't think the crew, the College Racing crew believes me when I'm like that.
Oh, they're around you enough. They know they know your smells, your stinks.
Yeah.
Wow. Hey, AJ Allmendinger here in the Freak Nation. An interesting comparison with Kyle Larsen winning the championship, and I think everybody agrees that he should have, and he, of course, is your NASCAR Cup Championship. Overcame that racial slur, was suspended from NASCAR, kicked off Ganassi. And now that I'm talking to you, I think about the time when you had the issue with the drug or whatever the hell it was, where you lost your ride.
And it was the 5-year-old drug?
Yes, right, exactly.
Adderall.
Yeah.
It wasn't even a cool drug. It was an Adderall. That was the worst part of it.
Yeah. Next time, just go with some acid, will you? Listen,
yeah.
But I think about that your road to redemption has been interesting to follow since that. And now, same with Kyle Larsen. Is there any comparison there of like, I'm going to prove these sons of bitches wrong, that I can drive, and that what I did wasn't that bad, or look what I can do now?
Well, no. I mean, I don't know on my end. I mean, Kyle Larsen to me has always been one of the baddest drivers on the planet. I mean, we see it. Doesn't matter what he gets in, like he can wheel the hell out of a race car, and I love. He's honestly my favorite driver to watch. Whether it's on dirt or on pavement, everything that he does, he can win in. So I don't think there's a question on Kyle Larsen about okay, I'm going to prove to them that I can drive again. Like, I mean, all he did was leave NASCAR and won like what 60 times last year.
Right.
So, I mean, it wasn't in the sense that, he has to go out there and prove to it. Now, at the same point, we all make mistakes. Nobody's perfect in the world. And I always feel like it's okay to, obviously, the certain level of the mistake. But if you make a mistake and you learn from it, then it's okay. If you make that mistake and then you make the mistake again and then you make it again and again, then of course, then it's your own fault. So, that's part of it. And Kyle, for sure, media wise and probably personally, took a lot of hit and was tough, but it's awesome to see what he's done because, as I said, I mean, he's such a race car driver. He's one of the nicest guys too off the racetrack. Like, I always enjoyed talking to him. So it's really cool to see what he's done this year, and for sure winning the championship today. The most deserving championship, I feel like, out of everybody, because I mean, he dominated the season.
That domination, there wasn't any, I don't know, expectation of that when he was running at Ganassi. He gets to Hendrick and just takes over the championship in the series. Do cars make that much difference? Teams make that much difference? You're winning at not a minor team, but a lesser resource team. Do cars make that much difference?
Well, I think if you ask Matt Colligan the amount of money he's spending, I don't think it's a less resource team for sure. Now, I would say it's less experience. So things like last night, that's what we learned from. You got to get to these championship races as a newer team and learn where you lack and how you got to be better. And of course, you'd like to go out there and win it the first time, and that's always the goal. But last year Justin Haley did a good job. I think it was kind of, he backdoored his way in. He did a great job through the playoffs and got where he needed to be to get to Phoenix. But I think we all showed up at College Racing, thought, okay, this is a bonus. And obviously this year we won some more races, but you still got to learn how to get there. And then once you get there, what it takes to go win that championship. So I don't think we're definitely not less a resource, but we need the experience, and hopefully that experience for next year, we come back and we can make the Final Four and we know what to do when we get to Phoenix. But yeah, it's better cars make a difference. I don't care what series you're in, right? We see in Formula One, we see it, IndyCar. That's what I love about IndyCar racing. They keep the rules tight enough where I think all these teams, you put the right driver in it, especially on a road course, they can go up there and win a race or at least get on the podium and run up front. NASCAR being more of an oval-based series, for sure, a better race car helps. And Ganassi, no disrespect to Chip. I mean, he's done so much in motorsports, and, all the stuff that he's done for NASCAR. To see him not be there next year is going to be a little strange, but he's done so much for the motorsports world. But on the Cup side of it, he's never had the best team. It's not been a bad team, but Hendrick's always been kind of the pinnacle. And you see when Kyle Larsen gets there and the Chevys have found something, over the last couple of years, found something with this aero package. And when you get the right car and the right driver, it can be pretty deadly for the rest of the field.
Your TV piece yesterday, pre-Xfinity race, was interesting to me because you got into college racing. There were 0 trophies. And now look, there's tons, and it's growing. And like you just said, it's not necessarily about the resources. I mean, resources help, but it's the experience. Experience continues to make teams better. You guys next year, you and Hemrick, if you don't get in the Final Four, is that a disappointment?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I'll say that right now. I mean, it's the ultimate goal is to go out there and try to win just as many races, and if not more. There's areas we definitely have to improve on to find more speed in our race cars. But that's what I'm excited about, having Daniel come to the team, because, part of at college racing really over the last couple of years, if you look at myself and Justin Haley and even Ross to a certain degree, he had a few races in the Ganassi Xfinity car that he's really fast in. But other than that, he hadn't had really Xfinity cars that have been very competitive until he got to college racing. So you're bringing in somebody that's now a champion, but more importantly, is run it. Daniel, this would be at least his fourth different organization that he's going to run for in the Xfinity Series. I believe he's run for RTR, ran for Junior some, and then obviously it Gibbs all time or full season this year. So he's bringing in a different experience level, something that the three of us, all we've driven is college Xfinity cars when it comes to the series. So he can kind of feel it out and help us out and say, okay, this is what was better about certain cars. This is what makes our cars good. So if we don't go to the Final Four, it will for sure be a disappointment, but it's the same thing. Once you get there, you got to execute, and hopefully if you do that, you're the champions. But that's a long ways to get there, and we got to clean up some stuff, but definitely build on what we've done this year.
Well, in the meantime, when will we find out when you may become Mr. America?
Oh, boy.
Oh, that's true. Well, Tara leaves Thursday to Vegas, and they start going through everything, and then it's the following weekend that it's on that Saturday night that it's held. So I'll know by Sunday if I get to change the name over my doors for next year to Mr. America instead of just AJ, because that's lame.
Well, of course, we're talking about your wife is Miss North Carolina, and we've got to, again, not everybody knows AJ's life, so we've got to sell it the fact that he does have a better half. That might
way
be
better.
Yeah.
Way better. Yeah. It's like Kenny talks to me like he doesn't know what that's like. I mean, look at him. Like, and then you see Crash. Like, really? Like, he's like, oh yeah, AJ's way better. Come on, man. Let's call a spade here.
Okay, let's do.
Awkward.
Listen, I have no problem sitting in the back seat, bro. I have no problem. When we started this thing, that might have been a problem, but now, shit, I'm in the back seat, man. God. Without a doubt. Hey, what's in store for AJ as far as sports cars go for the 2022 season?
That's a good question. I got to talk to my bro Mike Shank really this week or after Petit. Their final race of the season's next weekend. It's something that I've been very lucky for a lot of reasons driving for Mike for so long. But, with this partnership with Honda and Acura, Honda has allowed me to drive their cars for a while now when it came to the GT cars and then the prototype this year at Daytona. But, I always fully understand that, they have relationships with certain drivers and their IndyCar drivers. So, if it comes that one of them kind of gets put into the seat, I completely understand it. So I got to talk to Mike and kind of see where we're at. But, the answer is always yes if Mike asks me to drive for him.
What about television?
Well, that's funny, Statman. That's, I didn't do a lot of it this year. And I think part of that with NBC is trying to get back into somewhat being normal again when it comes to COVID protocol and them doing their thing with the people that work with them and full time. But they've always been open and honest with me that they want me to still do some broadcasting. And that's something I'm open to next year, doing more of it. We were talking about it last week. I'm still actually contracted to them too. So it's this racing thing has been great, getting back doing this full time and being with Color Racing. And hopefully we still have a few more years to go at it. But I love the broadcasting side of it. And that's something that I would enjoy continuing to do. And hopefully we can do more of it again next year.
We'll get back to the video interview in just a moment, but with high gas prices holding steady, it might be time for you to check out Lucas Oil Fuel Treatment and Injector Cleaner. It increases power, fuel mileage. It's formulated for both gasoline and diesel engines, carbureted, of course, fuel injected. Are you kidding me? It's like a tune-up in a bottle. Just add it to every fill-up of that snappy car of yours. And of course, it's as simple as... You get it. Now, back to the interview.
Let me ask you a personal question here. I don't know if you have an agent for television, but people in television normally have agents that are out there flogging you all around the world. Do you have an agent that's flogging you, or are you out there banging on the doors yourself?
Oh, I'm just out there banging on the doors myself, man. You can see me right now. Like, I'm pretty worn out from out there busting my butt, trying to look for gigs. So, um, agents, they just take money. So
No,
I
they
like to,
show you the money.
well, sometimes, but they also take the money as well. So we
Yeah.
just we keep it in the old Allmendinger household.
You again, you're back with colleague in the Xfinity Series. Did you have an opportunity to prior to signing again for 2022 to go into Cup, or is this your choice because it's not as bonkers running Xfinity, which it is in the Cup Series.
Yeah, for sure. It's I definitely wanted to be back with college racing for however long they want me to be. It's something that we've like the growth of the organization. I enjoy being a part of that and trying to just do my small part to try to make the team better. When it came to the Cup side of it, Kenny, it was one of those things that I just told them I was open to whatever they wanted. If they said we want you to be full-time Cup as the second car, then I said okay, I'm willing to do that.
Wow.
We talked about it and kind of said the Xfinity program is really important still because obviously the Cup program starting full time, like there's going to be some growing pains for sure, and you want to have that Xfinity organization and team be strong because you still want that system to help young drivers come to our race team in the Xfinity Series and then still have that chance to go to Cup. All of the Gibbs and what they do. And to me, even a little bit, the junior motorsports for Hendrick and then what Team Penske's done for so long. So it's Chris Rice is very open. He said, I would love for you to do Xfinity again, just to keep trying to make the program stronger.
Wow.
So we can keep having that growth for in Xfinity and for Cup. So it's true. Like I'm willing to do whatever they want me to do. I'm having a lot of fun with it. And, going out there and contending to win races every weekend makes it even more enjoyable.
I like
Quickly,
how. Go ahead, Statman.
before we get away from here, what you just said and what it appears is that the Xfinity Series might become a destination series for some. That at one time it was a ladder, but it seems like now more people are deciding to go there and stay there and race for a championship there and are happy with that.
I mean, I think if you're young and you're up and coming, yeah, it's a stepping stone, and that's what it should be. But there's also opportunities if you get with the right team. You look at Justin Allgaier at Junior Motorsports. You can even look at Elliott Sadler, several years ago, where you find a home, and it's a fun series to be a part of. The cars are really fun to drive. You get a lot of young talent in there that you got to keep learning to go compete against. So I think it's a little bit of both, and it's important to have that. There's only so many quality Cup rides that if you get with a mid-pack team or a backmarker team, a team that doesn't have a lot of funding, I mean, it can be tough and it can be not a lot of fun. We go out there to race to go out there and compete and try to win races no matter what series you're in. So I think it can be used as both, and it's honestly probably been like that for a long time.
I like hearing how your legacy may very well be, I mean, there's still a long way to go, but it may be helping to build Michael Shank Racing and Colleague Racing into powerhouses. I mean, without you, neither one of those teams would be where they are now and in the future. It's pretty cool.
Well, yeah, I mean, I don't know about Mike Shank. I mean, it's me and him have helped each other out a lot. I mean, when there's times when I was down and I just needed to drive, he'd bring me in. And there was times where they didn't have any money and they couldn't pay anything, and I was there. So that's part of our brothership and why I feel like he's always and always will be one of my best friends and a brother to me. It's fun to see Mike finally have some longevity and success, where for so long he was just trying to find guys that could bring some money and keep the team going. Now the partnership that he's got with Honda and Acura and the IndyCar teams and the sports car teams, like I just love seeing that. In Colleague, it's part of, like I said in that NBC piece, like when you walk into a place like driving for Team Penske, and Richard Petty and teams like that, where you walk in and you see all the trophies and everything around the building, all the pictures. Like, that's special because you're a part of something. When you walk into a team like College Racing where there's not really any banners up, and you can help starting putting banners there and building a legacy and really trying to help the growth of the team, that's also a lot of fun. And that's what I'm really enjoying about what I'm doing now.
Who's going to cook the turkey for Thanksgiving?
Probably my mom.
Oh.
My parents live 10 minutes from me, so probably my mom.
Nobody's in Cali anymore?
No Cali. So we still got some friends there and stuff like that, but yeah, my parents moved out here a few years ago, and so yeah, probably mom.
Nice.
They knock on the door for grandbabies?
Would you stop this?
They come get Xena, the French bulldog. Yeah. That's the grand puppy.
Who's Mr. Tickles? Where's the cat? Come on.
Well, Tickles, he's not like Xena loves grandma and grandpa. Like you tell that she's all about it. Tickles, it's a cat, so he's like, nah, whatever.
Still though, cats rule. Cats rule.
Yeah, for sure.
Let's not go down that road.
Yeah.
Statman, just don't you shake your head, Statman. No.
Stop it. Statman's like I'm not going to go there.
Yeah,
I'm not going to go there.
Cats rule.
Brother, it's great seeing you here over the weekend. All right, man.
Well, hey, man, you make sure you stay off of mountain bikes and anything. You're pretty old now, so don't be you could bust a hip by just trying to walk up a hill. So you be careful, okay?
I was looking at Justin Allgaier the other day. I thought, damn, he's even taller than AJ.
Hey, I hated being short until I sat next to my boy J Will on a plane out to our first race together, and I was like, my height's pretty good now. I'm not gonna cry about it. That poor guy, man. When we'd be on a plane, I was like, yeah,
his
I'm okay.
Legs were good.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I watched Cindric get out of that freaking car. Of course, I think of Justin Wilson, but that's just got to be bonkers being that damn tall in any kind of compartment like a race car.
Yeah, I mean, I give him crap all the time. I have no idea how he does it. Like, you see his in-car cam, like his legs are above the steering wheel at times, and Jay Will, I used to look. I mean, he sat on the tub. It was like, I'd have this 12-pound seat poured for myself because it was so thick, and I mean, like he had I don't know if it was even legal amount of foam. He would sit on the tub. So yeah, I don't know how they do it.
All right, buddy. It's always a pleasure. Thanks for taking time out, man. We'll regroup later.
Oh, sounds good. Have me back anytime you want me to pump you up, Kenny.
That's typically I can't get it around here, man. I cannot get it. I mean, I got to go down to the post office to feel better.
Wow.
I mean, I don't even know what the hell that means. It sure felt good.
I have no idea either. What do you get, free stamps or what is it like? I don't get it.
I don't know. It's either that or I go up to Safeway and talk to the checker boy or sacker boy. I don't know. Come on, let's get the hell out of here. We're small talking.
This is all right. I'm
All
gonna
right.
leave now before I get caught up in this,
Yeah.
and I have to explain to sponsors. No, I'm done. So thanks, guys.
Yeah.
All right. Love you, brother.
Later. See ya.
See ya.